This video is to take you through what we're doing for activity 117. This is the last activity we're going to do in Unit 1, Lesson 1, because we're going to skip the soldering, at least for now, until we can get supplies to do soldering. So this activity is really about learning how to use the internet to access the information that you want. Because in real life, you don't have to memorize absolutely everything. In real life, if there's information that you don't have, you can always go and look it up. And so this activity is about developing the skills so that you know where to look to find the information that you need. You can and you should use the PLTW site as a reference, but this presentation will detail exactly what you need to submit. It's going to be a really short presentation because there's no content to present. It's really just about like what do you need to do to demonstrate that you can do what you need to do for this particular section. So locating relevant data sheets, that's a major skill, and we're going to do this as a class, and we're going to submit it on Teams in like a shared document, something that I've done with my IED kids several times so that they all have access to the same document and can type on it and like check each other's work. And because this class is so small, you can work as a whole class instead of working like in separate groups. So the focus of this unit is a random number generator, and the following ICs are used in the design. So we have a 74LS04, 08, 32, 74, and an LM555 timer. And so you've got the part number, and then you have the name or function of what it does. And that's pretty much what you're going to be looking up later in the activity. Like you look up the name, and the name sometimes tells you what it does. So like a quad 2 input AND gate. Quad means there's 4 of them in the chip. 2 input tells you how many inputs you have, and then AND tells you the function. It tells you what this gate does. So to save time, each of you will only look up one data sheet online because we want to be efficient with this, and we do want to learn how to work together as a group. So of those 5 gates, I'll probably split it up. So as of this recording, we're down to 14 people in the class. So like 3 of you will be responsible for looking up each one, or 2 of you, and depending on if people are absent. So I might assign you like the 74LS08 quad 2 input AND gate. So you're pretty much going to type that into a search engine, and you're going to look for the data sheet for that particular gate. And you're going to take a screenshot of the pinout. All right, so that's what you're going to do with it. So you need to recognize what the pinout is. That's the diagram that tells you what all the pins are connected to. And you're going to do a screen grab of just the pinout. Then you're going to go over to Teams, and you're going to go into our team, go into the questions and discussions channel, then click Files, open the file, and you will see the class reference sheet. So that's going to be accessible to everybody through Teams. You'll be able to have your computer go to sleep on you. You'll be able to get in there. Then paste your photo into the assigned box. So if you have like the 08, you're going to scroll down to 08. There's a box that's labeled pinout, and you just like click in that box and then paste. Now, if there is already a photo there, so somebody else who is assigned the same gate, like beat you to it, what I want you to do is compare your photo with their photo and make sure that you have the same pinout. Now, they might have grabbed it from a different website, so they might have a different manufacturer. The screenshot might look a little bit different. So what you need to do is look at the different pins and make sure that the pins are laid out the same way. If there's any discrepancy, you need to talk to the other people that were assigned at that part, okay? And then go and repeat the process with the function table. So go back into that data sheet and grab the function table. The function table, remember, is like the low, high, and then you've got like your output. Okay, so it might be like low, 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 high. That's what you're looking for. It might be done with 1s and 0s depending on the manufacturer's data sheet that you're looking at. But like the function table for an AND gate is the same no matter who the manufacturer is, because AND gates only do one thing. And then do the same thing. So go back into Teams, go locate like the box for the function table. And again, if there's already a photo there, then you're going to compare what you've got to whatever they posted. Then I want you to go check a part that you were not assigned. So if you were assigned the AND gate, go and check the hex inverter gates, or check the OR gates, or the flip-flop, or the timer. And hopefully we have enough of people in the class that like not everybody's going to pick the same thing. And I just want you to double check that group's work and make sure that that group got it right, that they have the right stuff. As a class, you are responsible for getting the correct information on that sheet. So I'm reading like right down there. So it's kind of a class project. The work has been divided up, but if you don't like trust your classmates, then you want to go in and double check and make sure they have the right thing. So it's going to be a class grade. I'm going to pull that reference sheet and make sure that that reference sheet has all the information on it that you would need to design and build your random number generator, which you will do either on a breadboard or probably in Tinkercad, because I don't think we're going to have all those parts before we have to build it. But this will be a reference sheet that the class will use to go back, and like all that information will be in one spot for you. So that's the first thing that we'll do in this activity. The next two parts of it are going to be individual, but you'll notice that I have it's practical to work together. So you're going to have a handout. That's going to be the hard copy of something you turn in. And you're just going to use the internet to locate the name and function of various manufacturer parts, because you're going to have parts that you don't know what they are. I don't know, like in our JEA bin where we have just massive ICs and we may or may not recognize the parts numbers. So you're going to go through, basically type into a search engine DM74LS00, and you're going to write down the IC name and the function. That's pretty much what you were doing before with the, like it'll be like quad, quad 2 input or quad 3 input and gate. And that gives you like the name and the function. And then the manufacturer, remember, is going to be the DM or the SN, or in the case of JEA, it's NTE. So you're going to fill out that chart. And I wrote over here on the side, it is practical to work together on something like this. I don't think that it's like cheating necessarily, as long as you're all participating and you're getting the point of the lesson, which is learning how to find the information that you need online. So I don't think it's necessary for every single person in the class to look up every single part in order to learn how to do it. Just be sure to buddy up in such a way that someone is checking the work of others, so that you're not just copying off of someone else, like they looked up the SN74LS02 and you're just copying like their work for it. That work has been double checked by at least one other person. So make sure at least two people agree that the data is found is correct before you just go and copy it. And you should be looking up your own stuff too and offering to double check for anybody that doesn't have it like double checked for them. Practical application. We have the rather big task of sorting through the JEA bin, and we've made some progress with it. One like Friday afternoon, I spent way too long just going through it. So we've got like different bags with things labeled, and I do have a spreadsheet that is tracking like what the parts are and what they do. And now that we've covered this lesson, you have the knowledge to be able to contribute to that spreadsheet, which I would not have let you like do before. So part of this is you're going to grab a random IC from the bin, look up its name and function, and you're going to write it on your handout, and then see if it matches anything we already have sorted into the bags. If we've got like a bag that already has that on it, then you can put it in that bag. Now, if at any point you are bored in class, so you're finished what you're supposed to be doing, you can do this. This is like kind of a big job. I don't have tons of time on my hands, so go like sorting through all this stuff, but you have the knowledge at this point to be able to help with that task. So if at any point you're bored, grab a part, look up its key info, and then log it in the spreadsheet. And what I can do is post the spreadsheet as a shared file in Teams and create a channel for collaborative work. So it can be something that we do as a class when you have that dead time. If I'm ever absent, dive on in and start like sorting that stuff and logging it in the spreadsheet. And I can set up something so that we can collaborate on Teams with that. And then the last part of this activity is going backwards, finding a chip that does what you want it to. So like practically speaking, as an engineer, you're going to have something that you want done in your circuit, and what you want to know is there a gate that does that? Like, do I have to design it from scratch, or is there something that already does this? So I filled out the left hand part of this chart for you, just because like I thought like I should just, so the gate name, this is like a 3 input and gate. That's like your name and function, a 3 input and gate. You can tell because it's got 3 inputs. And then by the time we do this lesson, you should be able to recognize an and gate. It's the little roundy ones. And then when you have the little circle that negates it, so that's a NAND gate. And then I just filled in the left hand part, and then what you're going to do is just dump that into the internet, like, is there such a thing as a 3 input NAND gate, and then find out what the series part number is for that. So 74LS, and then you'll have like the number, so you want to go look that up. And so it's just kind of working in both directions, and that's pretty much the whole activity, is developing your ability to find the information online that you need to find. So I don't see this taking us more than a day to do this activity.